We have at this point 5 more deputants in the list. And we'll start with Grant Crossman, followed by Sherry Delaney, Ainsley Willock, Kelly Fairchild, and Rob Laidlaw. Good afternoon, sir. Good to have you here. Please go ahead, 5 minutes.
Okay. I'll read from this quick because I just had a nice lunch outside the farmer's market. Thank you for allowing Canherp the opportunity to offer input in regards to this probable change to the present bylaw regarding prohibited species in the City of Toronto. So many positive elements touched upon today. I feel I'll be repeating many of these, so I will try and just share some quick thoughts. I commend each and every person here today, as I believe we all have the same ultimate goal in mind, and that is every animal's welfare. We all maintain and agree that sharing our lives with animals we deem as family pet members in most circumstances is a privilege and not a right. Allow me to first offer support with the present bylaw in Toronto in regards to reptiles and agree with Mr. Zimmerman that future provincial or legislation is necessary to ensure we continue on the right path as animal enthusiasts. I've worked with many municipal bylaws throughout the years. In the past 3 decades that we have worked on changes to react to ever-changing pet world and interests. Some have taken 2 weeks to facilitate changes, and most recently, the City of Guelph completed its changes over a 2-year process of monthly meetings. Canherp is an advocacy group of private reptile, amphibian, and arachnid enthusiasts. We work closely with municipal animal services. We guide, assist closely with policing authorities on municipal, provincial, and federal levels when asked upon. We are volunteer-based that will assist with confiscations, identifications, and rehoming when needed. Canherp's first belief is in working with a prohibited list that presents species of animals that pose a significant health risk that we deem detrimental to one's life. This list has been created by biologists, physicians, zoo curators, pediatricians, enthusiasts, and politicians. This elevates a municipality revisiting its list yearly as the world of family pet interests change or adjusting due to the ever-changing provincial and federal legislation that over and above regulates the world of pets. As a past participant in Toronto's animal bylaw rewrite many years ago during the amalgamation process, I can sit here and confidently offer you my experience of 30 years in the family pet and world that the City of Toronto has led the municipal wave in bylaw updates across the province. Please consider your final changes and the effect it'll have on many homes that share their daily lives with pets that may fall within the possible changes being presented. We understand the foundation behind this change. By extending a prohibited species list, the city would be restricting a group of positive educators that really are the first experience for many to responsible pet ownership through education, which will cause a massive rippling effect, not just to the educators, but one that would have an eventual negative effect to the pet industry we see today. I can speak confidently that the pet industry, specific to the world of reptiles and exotics, seated a number of the fine educators here today in such legacy establishments like the Toronto Zoo, Ripley's Aquarium, and the Royal Ontario Museum. Toronto's present bylaw in regards to reptiles has created a strong hobby that has now grown to become a world leader in captive propagation of many species that academic facilities have failed with over the years. The reptile hobby has grown to the level that the diversity of captive bred reptiles, amphibians, and arachnids far exceed the availability of tropical fish today. Considering that 14 years ago, when the Toronto bylaw was rewritten, the pet industry reflective to exotics was sharing data that 45% of its live inventory was imported specimens. Today, I can say that with the bylaws like the Toronto present bylaw, through education programs such as outreach programs as Little Rays, Reptilia, Ripley's, the Toronto Zoo, and school curriculums, the growth in captive propagation of exotics has exceeded everyone's expectations. The pet industry's line inventory of captive bred future family pets is well over 87% in each store today. As I would like to reply to correct a comment made earlier in regards to the pythons being released in the Everglades, these were not pets released. These were the result of a hurricane, Hurricane Andrew, that decimated a reptile python research facility that was set up in research, which was regulated by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife. In closing, maintaining the present bylaw in regards to the reptiles, Canherp fully supports and looks forward to a continued working relationship with Toronto Animal Services. Canherp also encourages a bylaw specific to educators or a system that the City of Toronto can implement and continue to be a municipal leader in implementing in such a process that would encourage the continued positive education outreach programs that are being offered presently. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Crossman. Any questions? Thank you for your presentation.